أهلا وسهلا بكم جاليتنا في كل أمريكا. اليوم الفيديو مالتنا راح يكون خاص عن رسالة إلى الجالية الشرق أوسطية من المرشح السيناتور براين دالي. طبعا هذا الفيديو مهم جدا لكل الجالية الشرق أوسطية، فنتمنى أنه تسمعوا أو على الأقل الجزء الأول اللي هو الجزء المترجم. واليوم هو الأحد 6/11 سنة 2022. طبعا ملاحظة، هذه الرسالة أو الدعوة اللقاء تم إرسالها إلى حاكم الحالي غافن نيوسن، لكن لحد الآن ما حصلنا على جواب. احنا قناة مستقلة، فحبينا أنه ننطي فرصة للجهتين أنه يبعثون برسائل للجالية الشرق أوسطية. والفيديو اليوم راح يكون مقسم إلى 3 أقسام، نتمنى أنه تسمعون على الأقل القسم الأول من عنده، اللي هو رسالة إلى الجالية الشرق أوسطية في ولاية كاليفورنيا، مختصر مترجم الأهم من نقاط اللقاء راح نترجمها، وبالأخير راح نترك لكم اللقاء كامل باللغة الإنجليزية حتى تستمعوا له. هذا الفيديو مالتنا اليوم نتمنى أنه يكون مفيد بالنسبة لكم، ونتمنى تسوون شير لهذا الفيديو لأن به معلومات مهمة، فتابعوا هذا اللقاء. مثل ما تعرفون أكو انتخابات حاليا، وراح تكون آخر يوم 8 بهذا الشهر، يعني بعد كم يوم، في ولاية كاليفورنيا. الحاكم الحالي حاكم ولاية كاليفورنيا غافن نيوسن هم عنده انتخابات، واكو مرشح حاليا ضده على نفس المنصب اسمه براين دالي. براين دالي سوينا وياه لقاء، فاليوم هو عبارة عن إجابة لبعض الأسئلة اللي سألناه إياه كجالية شرق أوسطية أو كسكان في ولاية كاليفورنيا، دا نعرف شنو البرنامج الانتخابي مالته، الخبرة السياسية مالته، شنو الخطط مالته، شنو المشاكل اللي يشوفها، وبعض الأسئلة اللي هي خاصة للجالية الشرق أوسطية. فهذا اللقاء هو عبارة عن معلومات مهمة أن كناس ساكنين في ولاية كاليفورنيا حتى نعرف أنه ننطي صوتنا إله أو ننطي صوتنا للمرشح الآخر غافن نيوسن. فرح نبدي باللقاء، وأكيد راح يجي برأسكم سؤال أنه هذا المرشح جمهوري أو ديمقراطي، فنقدر نقول أنه المرشح هو من الحزب الجمهوري.
Hello, Middle Eastern Californians. I'm Brian Dali. I'm running.
تحية للجالية الشرق أوسطية في كاليفورنيا. اسمي براين دال. أرغب بالحصول على صوتكم في الانتخابات الحالية يوم 8 في هذا الشهر. السؤال الأول اللي راح نبدي به، شنو آخر منصب سياسي شغلته وشنو اللي دا طلبه من الجالية الشرق أوسطية في كاليفورنيا؟
I'm State Senator Brian Dali. I represent the first.
اسمي براين دالي، أشغل حاليا منصب سيناتور ولاية لمدة 3 سنوات ونصف الأخيرة. المنطقة اللي أمثلها بيها تقريبا 1,000,000 شخص. دا أطلب صوتكم بالانتخابات القادمة. أحب أن أكون حاكم ولاية كاليفورنيا. برأيك ما هي أهم الأشياء اللي ترى أنه يجب تغييرها في ولاية كاليفورنيا؟
Well, first we need to drive down the cost of living in California.
أولاً لازم نخفض تكاليف المعيشة في ولاية كاليفورنيا. التضخم دمر الطبقة الوسطى وأصحاب المشاريع الصغيرة في كاليفورنيا. الأغنياء دي يصيرون أكثر غنى والفقراء دي يصيرون أكثر فقراً، ونسوى هذا عن طريق تخفيض تكاليف وقود السيارات. قالون وقود السيارات $2.50 حالياً، أعلى من هواي ولايات. ولازم نخفض تكاليف الكهرباء. بالنسبة للجريمة فلازم نرجع المجرمين إلى السجون مرة ثانية. وبالنسبة للتعليم فنريد يكون للأهل اختيارات أكثر. سؤال، مثل ما تعرف الجالية الشرق أوسطية أغلبهم هم من أصحاب المشاريع الصغيرة من محلات ومكاتب وشركات، فشنو الخطة مالتك لدعم أصحاب المشاريع الصغيرة في حال تم انتخابك كحاكم لولاية كاليفورنيا؟
Well, I'm a small business owner myself.
أنا شخصيا صاحب أحد المشاريع الصغيرة، وأعرف اللي دا يمرون به أصحاب المشاريع الصغيرة، ولهذا السبب أنا رشحت نفسي لهذا المنصب حتى البزنس مالتي يتطور، الناس اللي أعيلهم يتطورون، والموظفين اللي يشتغلون عندي يتطورون، ونعيش حلم كاليفورنيا عن طريق امتلاك وإدارة عمل، وحتى أجني ثمار تعبي عن طريق إعالة عائلتي بدون تدخل المصاعب الحكومية اللي يخلوها على أصحاب الأعمال. والكوني كنت موظف سابقا فأنا أعرف جهتين المعادلة وش قد الأمور صعبة على أصحاب الأعمال وعلى الموظفين في كاليفورنيا. فأصحاب المشاريع العائلية الصغيرة والمشاريع اللي يديرها طموحين دا يتدمرون في ولاية كاليفورنيا. الطبقة الوسطى في ولاية كاليفورنيا حاليا دا تتدمر لدرجة انه صار ما عندنا طبقة وسطى حاليا، يا اما غنى كبير او فقر كبير. لهذا السبب لازم الحكومة تقلل من تدخلاتها في قوانين البزنس حتى البزنس ينتعش والناس تعيش حلم ولاية كاليفورنيا وتستفاد من تعبها في إدارة عمل خاص. سؤال: شنو برأيك راح يصير في ولاية كاليفورنيا إذا نجح خصمك في الانتخابات واستمر كحاكم ولاية كاليفورنيا لمدة 4 سنوات أخرى؟
Well, I can guarantee you he's going to run for president, so he'll only be here for 2 of those 4 years. And I can tell you that you're going to
أنا أضمن لكم بأن هو راح يرشح للرئاسة خلال 2 سنين، فهذا يعني هو راح يكون حاكم ولاية كاليفورنيا فقط لمدة 2 سنين، والأمور راح تكون بعد أسوأ من اللي كانت عليه. راح تدفعون تاكسات أكثر، واللي يجمعون من التاكسات راح يصرفوه على برامج ما بها فائدة، والمستوى التعليمي لأطفالكم راح يكون دائما سيء، وراح نظل نشوف ناس ساكنين في الشوارع، مستوى الجرائم يكون دائما مرتفع. سؤال مهم جدا: شنو رأيك بجملة أنه الجمهوريين كقيادات دائما يكرهون الشرق أوسطيين، وبعض أبرز قيادات الجمهوريين دائما يستعملون كلمة ميدل إيسترن للإشارة إلى فتشي هو خطر على أمريكا؟ فشنو وضعك أنت من هذه الدعايات؟
there's maybe a lot of people that use
هناك
phrases
العديد
for
من
politics.
السياسيين اللي يستعملون بعض الجمل لأغراض سياسية، لكن هذا الشيء أنا أبدا ما مسويه. ممكن تراجعون مسيرتي السياسية حتى تعرفون أنه أنا شخص ما عندي هاي الأشياء، ودائما أحب أجمع الناس مع بعضها. سؤال مهم جدا خاص بالجالية الشرق أوسطية في كاليفورنيا على مستوى الولاية وعلى المستوى المحلي. مع الأسف الجالية الشرق أوسطية دائما يمثلوها أقليات أخرى ما نتشابه وياهم بهواية صفات، وفي بعض الحالات يجون بعض الأشخاص اللي إحنا كجالية ما منطيهم أي تصريح، لكن عندهم مصالح خاصة ويمثلون الجالية بدون علمنا. فإذا تم انتخابك كحاكم ولاية كاليفورنيا، هل أنت مستعد أنه تتعامل ويا الجاليات وممثليهم الحقيقيين مباشرة بدون العمل مع هاي المنظمات أو الناس أصحاب المصالح الخاصة؟
Yeah, well, across the board, I don't want anybody to be marginalized. Everybody should have access to
طبعا
the
لا،
governor.
أكيد على كل المستويات. ما أريد لأي شخص أن يتم تمثيله من جهة هو مو منتخبها، وكل شخص لازم يكون عنده طريقة بسرعة أنه يتواصل بيها مع مكتب حاكم الولاية. وأنا شخصيا جمهوري، لكن في منطقة تحكم ديمقراطية كبيرة، لكن قدرت أن أبني علاقات خلال هاي الفترة حتى مع المختلفين معي بالرأي، وراح أستمر بهاي الطريقة ويا أي مجموعة من مجاميع مواطنين ولاية كاليفورنيا. وبغض النظر عن قوميتكم أو لونكم أو عرقكم، أنا راح أشتغل ويا الكل حتى نحقق الحلم في ولاية كاليفورنيا. في نهاية اللقاء عندك كلمة أخيرة للناخبين الشرق أوسطيين في ولاية كاليفورنيا؟
I would just like to say to you that, you can go to my website, briandalli.com. You can find out a lot about me on social media.
أحب أذكر أنه ممكن تدخلون على الموقع الخاص بي برايندالي.com، ممكن تقرون الكثير عني مواقع التواصل الاجتماعي، واقروا العديد من المقالات اللي انكتبت عني. أنه أنا شخص أحب أشتغل ويا الكل، لكن اللي أطلبه منكم أنه تصوتون. ما راح نقدر ننجح وننتصر إذا ما تصوتون. إذا تحبون اللي دا تشوفوه حاليا في ولاية كاليفورنيا، فابقوا صوتوا للشخص الموجود حاليا، وراح تحصلون بعد أكثر من اللي دا تشوفوه. وإذا تريدون تغيير في ولاية كاليفورنيا، فمنحوني الفرصة وصوتوا لي بالانتخابات الحالية، وأكيد راح أقدر أن أكون حاصل
California,
على صوتكم.
give me an opportunity and vote for me. I would appreciate to have your vote.
الجزء الباقي من الفيديو هو عبارة عن اللقاء كاملا باللغة الإنجليزية بدون تقطيع، فإذا حبيتوا تسمعون المعلومات الكاملة فأهلا وسهلا بكم. We would like to welcome Senator Brian Dalley to an Arabic TV and thank him for being here to tell us more about his candidacy for the office of the California governor. We would like to start with an important note as a nonpartisan channel that we sent the same interview request to the campaign of the incumbent Gavin Newsom, but did not receive any response yet. So, Senator Dalley, we are going to start this backward. You have the camera, you can address the Middle Eastern voters of California in a few words as a start.
Hello, Middle Eastern Californians. I'm Brian Dalley. I'm running for governor, and I'd love to have your vote on or before November 8th.
Tell us something about yourself and why are you running for the office of the governor?
my family's been in California for 92 years. I'm a farmer, and I've been elected to the County Board of Supervisors for 16 years before I came to the legislature, where I spent 6.5 years in the Assembly and then 3.5 years in the state Senate. I want a future for my family and your family in California. People are fleeing California because they can't afford to live here. Crime is running rampant. We have the highest taxes and the highest poverty rate in the nation. We have homelessness. We have lack of water. We have electricity prices are 70% higher than the average in the nation. And so I want a future for California. And so we've had one party control for the last 25 years in the legislature, and we have a governor that is running for president who's out of touch with everyday Californians. And so I want to make the California dream a reality for those of us who really care about California and want to stay in California.
What is your political experience, and how is that going to help you if elected as a governor of California?
Well, again, I was a county supervisor for 16 years, where we, balanced the budget. When I left my county, it was completely debt-free, and our pensions were funded. I went to Sacramento in 2012 to make sure that our small businesses and our farms and our families could stay in California. And unfortunately, we've seen a lot of money being raised in Sacramento by the legislature, but not spending it wisely. For example, we've seen $20 billion spent on homelessness. That's $75,000 per homeless person. And we actually have more homeless people, 22,000 more homeless people. So my experience has been working in the legislature. I'm on the budget committee. I'm on natural resource or energy committee. I'm on a lot of committees. I've been there for 10 years. So I have the knowledge to be able to run the state and the budget. I just need to get elected governor so we can actually put our priorities and get things done in California that help families be able to stay in California and live the California dream and make it a reality.
What are the top priority issues that you would like to change if elected?
Well, first, we need to drive down the cost of living in California. Inflation is destroying the middle class and small businesses in California. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. How do you do that? You do that by driving down the cost of gasoline. In California, it's $2.50 a gallon higher than it is in other states. And we need to drop down electricity. Those two things alone will help every Californian be able to afford to stay in California. I'm in the trucking business. It's been $200 a day per truck in the last 8 months just for diesel. So that's $1,000 a week. That's $4,000 a month. That drives up the cost of a gallon of milk, a dozen eggs, and a 2x4. So, and all products in California. So to reduce the inflation, we have to drive down the cost of energy and make government work efficiently and stop wasting your taxpayer dollars on things that don't give you a service. And we see a lot of that happening here in Sacramento. So that's the number one thing. Crime, we need to put violent criminals back in prison. Gavin Newsom has chose to let out 30,000 prisoners under COVID. They're out on our streets committing crimes against Californians. So I will make them accountable, put them back in prison where they belong until they're fully rehabilitated and not victimizing Californians. As far as education goes, we need parents to have choice. We need to be able to empower parents and not the California Teachers Association, which completely owns Gavin Newsom. Our schools were locked down longer than all other states, and we've seen a drop in our illiteracy in California, and California students and families are suffering because of the policies that come out. That's a few things I want to tackle right out of the gate. There's many other things. We have a constant drought in California. It's not the truth. We just need to build more infrastructure so we can have water. We have plenty of water. It just runs to the ocean. So there's a lot of things that I plan on doing, but I must get elected first. We need people to get out to vote, and we can take back our state.
So, Senator, for people who would like to vote for you, what other key offices that you would like your voters to look at when they're voting to make your job easier as the governor of California if elected?
Yeah, so we definitely need to see the Attorney General position changed. We have Rob who's in there who is not holding criminals accountable. and we need to get Nathan Hochman elected. And basically, if you just go down the ticket, all the constitutional officers, if you vote Republican, would be a change. We haven't had many statewide offices, and those are people that I will be able to work with to be able to achieve the things we want to achieve in California. So we've seen 25 years of one party control. That's a Democrat Party. And I'm having a lot of Democrats and independents come over and vote for me because they want change in California. They want California to be what it once was, a dream where people came and thrived with their businesses and were able to prosper. And Californians are leaving and fleeing to other states where they have less regulation, more opportunities for their families, and can afford to live there. Well, I'm not leaving. That's why I'm running. I refuse to let this beautiful, awesome state, which is so diverse and so amazing. We have the greatest farm land in the world. We have the greatest technology. We have everything you need as far as the state goes. We just have policymakers that are not doing what they need to be doing to make sure Californians have the ability to be able to stay here and thrive.
What is the main endorsement that you have so far, and how can people support your campaign?
Well, I have a lot of endorsements from Republicans, but I haven't actually focused on getting endorsements. I just have been focused on getting my name out there and my message. At this point, we're 5 days out. It's the top two. It's either you're going to get Gavin Newsom for 4 more years, or you're going to get me for 4 years. But the main thing is that only 16% of the people have voted that are registered to vote. We have a great opportunity to take back our state if people will get out to vote. You can also follow me on social media at briandaley.com. That's BrianDahle.com. I'm on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all the social media platforms, so people can follow me and then get your neighbors to go vote. If you turn out to vote, we can win this election. There's just a few days left, and we need to make sure people actually turn out to vote.
Moving on to some specifics about the Middle Eastern community of California. As you may know, that Middle Eastern communities are hardworking, tax-paying, small business owners mostly, and they're mostly interested in learning about your plans to support small businesses if elected.
Well, I'm a small business owner myself. I should just share with you, when I was in the state assembly, there's 80 members in the state assembly. 3 of us did a payroll every 2 weeks. So most legislators don't understand how difficult it is to meet all the regulations in California to run a small business, or a large business for that matter. But at the end of the day, I understand what you're going through. That's why I ran for office, was to make sure that I can thrive, and my business can thrive, and my employees can thrive, and I can live the California dream to own and operate a business and let my hard work be able to provide for my family without the government intruding on every aspect of my business. So I know what California business people, owners, are going through, and I also know, because I've been an employee as well, I understand both sides of that. So what we need to do in California is just get out of the way, let people provide the services they need for their businesses to others, and let them be able to live the California dream and make it a reality. That's exactly why I'm running, is because California has been picking winners and losers, and the wealthy big corporations in California are getting increasingly rich, and small family-owned businesses and small entrepreneurs are getting destroyed by the policies in California. And it's affecting our middle class. We don't have a middle class. We have extreme wealth and extreme poor, and there's no middle class. I'm a middle class person, and I want you to be able to thrive in the middle class. If you have a middle class, you have upward mobility, and those businesses can grow, and then they can be able to take care of their family and provide for the things that the Californians dream about doing, because this is a land of opportunity, but it's being taken away by elitists like Gavin Newsom, who's running for president and not focusing on the people of California.
As Middle Eastern Americans, we suffer on the state level, on the local level, from being marginalized by other minorities representing us, or by some small agencies, special interest groups, and we always see that our voice is hijacked by someone. So, if elected, are you willing to work with communities directly?
Yeah, well, across the board, I don't want anybody to be marginalized. Everybody should have access to the governor to talk about issues. I want to bring people together, not divide people. We've seen way too much division. And quite frankly, we know that doesn't work. When you divide people, look, we're going to disagree on things, absolutely. And that's okay. Let's set those out in the parking lot and let's talk about the things we agree on. And let's get to know each other, because at the end of the day, once we know each other and we communicate very well, everybody wants a good business. Everybody wants a future for their family. Those are all common things. Let's talk about those things. If there's things we disagree on, then I think we should civilly disagree on those things and say, and listen to each other's side on why we disagree, and work on common ground solutions to get things done. That's what I've been about. I'm a Republican in this is a Democrat-controlled environment, but I've had 127 legislators to my district. I guarantee in the history of our state, probably had more people to my district across the aisle to actually build bridges and get things done. I will continue to do that with every group of citizens of California, no matter where you're from, no matter what color your skin is, no matter what your ethnicity is. It doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, we're all Californians. We want a great California, and together we can make that happen. And I think dividing people is totally wrong, and it's not what I believe in at all.
What do you think 4 more years of Gavin Newsom means for California?
Well, I can guarantee you he's going to run for president, so he'll only be here for 2 of those 4 years. And I can tell you that you're going to get more of exactly the same, taxing you to death, spending a ton of money and not getting any results. Your children will be in a poor school, poor academically wise, not with resources, because there's plenty of money. But you're going to see people still on our streets. You're going to see crime running rampant. You're going to see our forest burning down. You're going to see a system of special interest running California. That's exactly what's been happening, and we're seeing that today. If you elect me, I'm not leaving California. I want California. I want to drill for oil in California and be energy independent, so we're not destroying the rainforest, where we're taking 24% of our oil from Ecuador. Put Californians to work with the natural resources we have here, at the same time taking care of the environment, because we do it with California labor and with a better track record on emissions than anywhere in the world. So we should do it here instead of exporting all of our jobs and our emissions to other countries.
We hear all the time that Republican leadership makes some statements fear-mongering about Middle Eastern. What do you think about this, and what is your position on that?
Well, I don't have heard anything about Middle Easterns. All I can tell you is that I'm for all Californians, all Americans, to be able to have an opportunity to live the California dream and the American dream. And I don't know that there's maybe a lot of people that use phrases for politics, but that's not something I've ever done. You can watch my speeches on the Senate floor and my career of being somebody who actually brings people together of all walks of life to try to make their lives and our all lives jointly a better place to live in California. So I don't really know what you've heard, but I've not heard any of that, even on the Senate floor from either party, quite frankly. So I want to make sure people have an opportunity to be heard, to come together, no matter where you're from, or I want to make the California dream a reality for all of us.
Thank you very much, Senator Dali, for being here with us, and we wish you all the luck in this race. And we would like a final message to the voters of California.
I'm State Senator Brian Dally. I represent the 1st Senate District in California. Almost 1 million people have for the last 3.5 years. I'm asking for your vote. I want to become your governor so that we can all stay in California and we can all make the California dream a reality.